Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You've got your boys here, Bert, the Hurt, and Lanny, your favorite dividend investors out here in all of social media, guys. And today we're going to talk about, do I sell two stocks in the energy utility field and buy one stock to take its place? Let's figure that out, guys.
Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Holler at your boys, the Dividend Diplomats. We talked about it in our Monday video. The 2025 is going to be all about keeping investing simple, stupid. We're taking the KISS methodology into our portfolios here in 25. We're finishing what we started in 2024.
There it is, guys. Subscribe, like the video. So, there's a lot going on right now, especially with the tariff announcements, finalizations. And I know that there are a lot of tariffs coming up from north of our border here from, in Canada where I'm, placing on. And it just so happens to be that now our energy / natural gas or gas provider, is now Enbridge. Ticker symbol is ENB. And, they took over Dominion Energy business over here. So,
yeah.
Bert, I'm sure you're paying the same as well.
Yes, I am. You see the bill switch from Dominion to Enbridge. So it's always a funny time here, Lanny. Let's see, can we now help the stock that we pay for our utilities here up in Cleveland? Let's see. So you talked about how you want to take a look at Enbridge, but there's also another nugget you left at the intro here, Lanny. You said, are there two stocks that you possibly want to get rid of and then use those proceeds to invest in Enbridge, ticker symbol ENB?
Exactly. So the two stocks, again, are in the same space. It was Dominion, ticker symbol D. We own Dominion stock. Brett, I think you still own Dominion stock, possibly.
I've been trying to get rid of Dominion stock for a while. It's been one I've been trying to find a reason to dump, to be honest with you.
Yep. So I own $3,700 of Dominion, produces about $178 in dividends with a yield of 4.8%. They are down 35% in 5 years. So what a real winner that's been for the portfolio.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, baby.
And the second stock, similar space, but is Akron-based, First Energy. Again, FE, that was a stock that's been on the chopping block for some time. Own about $5,800 worth of this electric utility. Also is our, electricity supplier.
I was just about to say that if you weren't going to. So what you're doing is you're looking to consolidate within that utility sector, get rid of Dominion, get rid of First Energy, and possibly move it into Enbridge, ticker symbol ENB. You said between those two positions here, Lanny, it was going to be about $9,500 of proceeds. And in total dividend income, if you sold Dominion and you sold First Energy, it'd be $425 of dividend income that would be out the door. Let's talk about the move, though. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Enbridge, guys. And we couldn't talk about Enbridge without running through the gosh dang Dividend Diplomat stock screener focused on the price-to-earnings ratio less than the S&P 500, dividend payout ratio. Utility space, I don't know, we'll get less than 60%. Third, a history of growing dividends, and then we'll look at the dividend yield. So Enbridge, quite an interesting game here because we'll have to see what the market does because we are filming this the night of February 2nd on a Sunday. So we'll see what happens this upcoming week because this dividend episode will probably come out on Thursday, guys. But what are they trading at right now, Bert?
$43.24. 2024 estimated earnings are $2.79. That gives you a price-to-earnings ratio of 15.5.
Which is typically higher in the utility space. So we'll see by the time of this video if we're in the mid to upper 30s with what everybody's thinking could happen here in this utility energy space from, again, up north. Gotta love Canada out there. Now, again, when we talk about the dividend, remember, they pay a Canadian dividend, which is around 92-ish, 93 Canadian, and the conversion is about 64 cents-ish. So we'll use 64 cents USD times 4, or $2.56. So that brings a current payout ratio at about 91.76%.
All right, 91.76%, a smidge higher than our 60% threshold. Let's talk to dividend growth here. Their 5-year dividend growth rate is 1.97. They've increased that dividend for 15 consecutive years.
Solid.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years. Again, that came from dividendinvestor.com's website. The dividend growth rate is all within the exchange rate based on what Seeking Alpha says. We're really actually using, like, let's just say, like, it's 64 cents based on, or 67 cents based on what Seeking Alpha says, 61 cents from 5 years ago. So just doing the math, about 2% annual growth there on the dividend. So for anybody who wants to know where that actually came from.
Yeah, so their dividend yield is 5.92%. So that's obviously a very high dividend yield. And what's key here, Lanny, that's higher than both First Energy and Dominion. Dominion's yield is 4.8%. First Energy's yield, 4.27%. So you would be upping your game on the dividend yield front with this potential move.
Yeah, and it's funny because, both these stocks that we talked earlier, Dominion and First Energy, down, both of them over the course of 5 years. Enbridge is up over 6% in the last 5 years. They're actually up 22% since this time last year, and they are squeaking up a positive gain of about 0.6% so far in 2025. They're $95 billion in market cap, and it seems like with a lot of their mergers, acquisitions, and growth, they are issuing more shares in order to raise capital to continue to grow their business. So share count is up because we like to sprinkle that in.
Yeah, so before we jump into how the economics of what the move would look like and how much income you'd add, what are your overall thoughts about Enbridge right now after running them through the screener?
I think they're a little expensive right now. A higher PE ratio, and obviously the dividend payout ratio is high. If somebody has a different dividend payout ratio, granted, we're being conservative with 2024 EPS per Yahoo Finance. You guys let me know as well in the comments. Let us know what you think about EMB's, price to earnings and their dividend payout ratio. So initial take is that it's, it seems like it's overpriced right now.
Yes. Okay. So it's overpriced right now. You'll consider this move probably if the price drops a little bit. So in this hypothetical scenario, Lanny, here, we said you had $9,500 of value in Dominion and First Energy. And in total, between the two combined, you had $425 of dividend income. If you swapped it out 2 for 1, what would it look like? What would your income position look like?
Yeah, it's wild. So, when I swapped out the 420, something odd dollars, in dividends from Dominion and First Energy, and if I pushed it all into Enbridge, it actually would go up to $562 or a gain of about $137 in dividends, because that yield is 5.92%. So I'd be, net positive in the dividend income front. So that's always appealing, but not the reason why I would ever do this move.
No, it's more important buying the stock when the price is right. But it's good to have this type of transaction in the back of your mind, Lanny, so that you know what it's going to be like. That if the price did drop 10%, you're like, screw it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to add this income. It's a good thing to plan it.
Yeah, and then if there's extra cost that Enbridge is going to have to us, and if something happens from contracts, here from them, again, if there's a dividend cut that could happen here from Enbridge, that's why I need this price to come down, because I think there's extra risk possibly to invest and buy shares of Enbridge. So I'm currently not going to do this move, but this is something that I've been thinking about for some time, guys.
All right, everyone. So let us know what you think about this swap. What do you think of Enbridge? And if you were Lanny, would you swap out Dominion and First Energy for ENB?
Let us know, guys. Let us know what other stocks you've been buying this week here, guys. Like the video, subscribe to this channel. And I got one thing left to tell you, brother. You're either with us or you're against us, Jack. That was Bert the Hurt and Lanny from the DD, over and out.